Night is a success.
Okay.
It was a great night tonight.
Okay. What did
First
you?
of all, I seen a man stand up for his wife,
Okay.
which we don't see that much anymore. That made me have hope. How about you?
Well, I
How
wanted.
did you feel about it?
I wanted your opinion on it because you're a comedian, and so it was that thing where like, was that joke too far? How did you feel about what Will did? Because you are someone who's done comedy, and yet, like you just said, you saw a man defending his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how you felt about it. Would you want your husband to do that for you if you was clearly hurt? I mean, they put her face up on the screen. He looked over at his wife. She was hurt. What would you want?
I would want him to defend me. The thing that made me sad was like this was a big night for Will, and then you saw that emotion for him, and it was like God, it's just I can't. I don't think I've still processed how this night went. You know.
Well, I just know she better take care of business when they get home. Because I know I would. If my man did that for me, I'm just saying, yellow.
Did you talk to either of them tonight?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you tell them how you felt?
Oh, they know how I feel.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, they know how I feel. That's my friends.
Yes.
They know.
Yes. Well, you go way back with them to some of the.
It's a girls' trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, family, first off, this video was quite revealing. I'm going to speak to some of the points or things that Tiffany Haddish said, and I'm going to give my perspective on it, okay? But first, I'm going to start the video over because I saw some things that I want to, tap into. Here we go.
Night is a success.
Okay.
It was a great night tonight.
Okay. What did
First
you?
of all, I seen a man stand up for his wife,
Okay.
which we don't see that much anymore. That made me have hope. How about you?
Well, I
How
wanted.
did you feel about it?
I wanted your opinion on it because you're a comedian, and so it was that thing where like, was that joke too far? How did you feel about what Will did? Because you are someone who's done comedy, and yet, like you just said, you saw a man defending his wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so first she said it was a success, and then she said, we rarely see men stand up for their wives, and this is what Will Smith did, It appears that Tiffany Haddish is only looking from the perspective of a wife, what it would feel like to be protected when you're offended, okay? So your man protects you. This is seen as romanticized in our world. A man defending his wife's honor. I'm putting wife's honor in quotes because your wife's honor just means anything that might offend her. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very vague. So defending your wife's honor. This seems to be very romanticized, of course, in women, in our ladies. Anyway, she sees it from only that perspective. So it appears that the reporter tries to shift her view to that of a comedian because Tiffany Haddish is a comedian. And her first answer, of course, is using ego. What it would feel like to be a wife protected by your husband when somebody offends you. Okay, we get it. But you also have another ego, another character in which you embody a comedian. From a comedian's perspective, it seems that she would see that Will Smith was in fact wrong for slapping Chris Rock. But I want you to notice that Tiffany Haddish never goes down this road. It's like she refuses to even consider this. Watch this. This is Tiffany Haddish's response to, hey, I'm asking you what you think because, hey, you're a comedian. Do you feel that the joke was too far? Here's Tiffany Haddish's opportunity to say if the joke was actually too far. Was the joke too far? Number one, we don't know if Chris Rock actually is the one who wrote the joke. Will Smith also understands comedy. He knows that may not be the case. Now, Chris Rock is the person who all of the anger got projected onto, but is he the one that wrote the joke? Okay? So, is the joke too far? Number one, it's a G.I. Jane joke. Chris Rock obviously didn't feel that the joke was too far because he rationalizes the whole thing by saying, dude, it's a G.I. Jane joke. This appears that he doesn't think it's too far. I don't see where anyone else thinks it's gone too far, unless, of course, they're looking through the eyes of ego. Her hair loss, alopecia, her being a woman. Okay, and so these type of things, we really do look through the lens of looks, family. All these things seem to matter, and they seem to dilute our actual view of what's actually happening here. And this is why I'm going to do this video, okay? So back to Tiffany Haddish. Here's her response instead of actually looking at it from a comedian's perspective.
I want to know how you felt about it. Would you want your husband to do that for you?
She begs the question with a question. I want to know how you felt about it. She's asking you, Tiffany. Okay, in light of considering that he is a comedian, was the joke proportional to the slap? It's simple. Was it over the line? Okay, but she doesn't say that. What do you feel? And this is typical of someone who's deflecting. They're refusing to go down that road. And this is what cognitive dissonance does. This is what's wrong with a lot of our community, family. We refuse to see other people's issues. And by other people, I'm simply meaning other genders. If they don't have the same gender, we're somehow beginning to put up this wall or barrier in which where we don't empathize with them. It's very scary where we're headed. If we don't get this corrected, it's gonna be real problems, family. That's another video though. But here we go.
If you was clearly hurt, I mean, they put her face up on the screen. He looked over at his wife. She was hurt. What would you want?
So she only continues to build on her point on why it was okay to hit him. They put her face on the screen. She's adding to it to make it reasonable that Will Smith's actions are okay, but they're actually deplorable. All right, and real quick, let's think about it. She said that, I mean, they put her face on the screen. Don't they do that to everybody that they joke on? I mean, if you're at an NBA game and you're known, if they say you're there, they put your face on the screen. And don't we know Jada about her face? I wouldn't know her if she were in a mask. This is her face. Her face is not offensive to anyone. It's not something to be laughed at either. Okay, so putting her face on the screen is not something that should be adding to the reason it's okay to slap someone. You understand what I'm saying? This makes no sense. If the joke wasn't enough to be slapped, putting her on the screen doesn't make it enough to be slapped because it has nothing to do with the joke whatsoever. You understand? It's almost like when we were children, many of us fought and we weren't actually angry at what somebody said. We were actually incited to fight over what happened whenever this so-called offense happened. Ooh, he did this to you. You gonna let them do that to you? Because we were encouraged to act out because other people thought it was offensive. So if you got a reaction like that, it just kind of brought the worst out of us, right? But that actually has nothing to do with the actual thing that happened. So actually it's childish and petty to get caught up in that. You understand? So you got to realize that you can't add things that have nothing to do with the situation to the situation and act as if that gives a person more of a right to do the thing that they did. That is completely off. That is not how you should deduce whether or not it's okay to attack somebody. You understand? There are very few things that makes it okay to attack somebody when they're not physically attacking you. That is not one of them. Okay? Her face going on the screen, people laughing, or people feeling like the joke was egregious. No response to that warranted him being slapped any more than the actual joke did. So if the joke is not parallel to the slap, nothing else makes it parallel to the slap. Not looking at her face, seeing her pain, none of it makes it parallel to the slap. That's adding things that don't belong. This is why I mean emotional intelligence. If we had emotional intelligence, we would know that. We would know that has nothing to do with it. It might make us more offended, but it doesn't add to a right to attack somebody or to act out of the anger that you feel. Because there's consequences to acting out of the anger that you feel. And if you don't want those consequences, then you know you shouldn't behave that way. But I'll get back to it. Just wanted to make that point. Okay, I'm going to get to why, but let's finish this video, just this clip here.
I would want him to defend me. The thing that made me sad was like this was a big night for Will, and then you saw that emotion for him, and it was like it's just I don't think I've still processed how this night went. You know.
Well,
It was more than a big night for Will. It was a big night for everyone in that building. It's the Oscars, family. Many people are getting their awards. It's a big night for them all. Okay, so it's not just a big night for Will, and many of us are getting lost in that fact. Okay, people deserve their accolades, but Will Smith is an actor, family. Did a good job at being an actor, and that's what he's getting an award for. We got to stop acting like an actor is equal to a doctor. You understand? Or someone who's truly beneficial in our world. They entertain us, that's all great, but he is no better than you and I. He's a celebrity. We romanticize celebrities. That's simple, family. This is the only reason we're talking about this crap. He's an actor. He is not to be glorified or reverenced in any way, family. He's a very good actor, but that's just a job. We more should be concerned about the character of the human being. How is he around his family, his children? How is he out here in society when we really have to deal with each other? Forget if he's an actor or not. Or forget if this night would have meant a lot to him based on those premises. Let's continue.
Well, she better take care of business when they get home. Because I know I would. If my man did that for me, I'm just saying, yellow.
She better take care of business when she gets home. I want you guys to understand something. From Tiffany Haddish's perspective, Will Smith should be rewarded with intimacy because he slapped Chris Rock in defending Jada's honor. This is toxic behavior, family. Do you understand what I'm telling you? We always talk about what it's like to date a person of low value, man or woman alike, but specifically for women or men, period. When they instigate fights for their own pleasure and ego, this is toxic. If a man is instigating two women to fight because he thinks it's sexy that two women fight over him, that is ego, and he is toxic. If a woman is instigating two men to fight because it makes her feel better about herself or prettier, this is toxic, family. And a woman rewarding a man with intimacy for acting like this would only create a horrible man. And if the world acted like this, if we all acted like this would be chaos. Do you understand? See, a higher value woman would have told him, don't represent us in that way. We have children, we have family, we have people who look up to us, we have legacy. Husband, king, due to your action tonight, you could have cost us millions of dollars of money that we've tried to build. Jim Carrey said he would have sued Will Smith for $200 million just because the video would have been up forever and it was humiliating to him. And dadgummit, he would have got that money too. And Chris Rock could also. Hey man, you've ruined your reputation. You've shown people a side of you that you never wanted people to see. And again, it's not indicative of the man that you want to be, nor of the husband that I want protecting my honor. I don't want you going around slapping people for offending me. Husband, I am a figure. I am a celebrity figure. People are going to talk junk about me. No, I didn't like the joke. But that is not how you should have responded. A high value woman can see that it's going to be damage from this man acting out like this. Any of you ladies out here, your man is not Will Smith. He's not wealthy. If he goes around slapping people for you, your man going to be in jail. And you're going to be having conversations with him through plexiglass. That's the kind of man you want. And you're rewarding that behavior with sex. So you can't see how you are definitely a contributor to this action. That's crazy. Really, really crazy.
Did you talk to either of them tonight?
Guys, it's crazy. Do you understand what I'm telling you? If the tables were turned and a woman comedian, if Tiffany Haddish was up there and she insulted Will Smith for the entanglement stuff, and it obviously showed on his face that he didn't like it. If Jada walked up there and slapped her for that, and the same thing happened, and after the fact, Will Smith said, or everyone was saying, Will Smith better go home and give Jada the business for defending his honor, for protecting him. Do you understand? Protecting someone means that when violence is coming towards them, this is called protection. You're protecting them from violence. Was Chris Rock being violent towards Jada in any way? No, he wasn't, right? And if the joke was offensive, the joke was over. So he is not pursuing to continue to joke on her. Will Smith just decides to do this. And y'all call it protecting. That's not protecting, family. And the biggest kicker is this exposed so many of us in how we think that we praise this type of behavior from Will Smith as if Chris Rock, his humanity, does not give him the right to not be assaulted. You understand? Like we're treating this like Jada's right to not be insulted is greater than Chris Rock's right to not be assaulted, smacked in his damn face in front of everybody for the whole world to see forever and ever. People get joked on, family. That's happened before. We all do it. Will Smith has joked on people's bald head who had alopecia. See, this type of behavior right here coming from Tiffany Haddish, it tells me a lot about why she thought that Common was boring. Will Smith and Common are very similar in their temperament. Their relationship is over now, and from what I'm seeing in all of the news about it is that she thought he was boring. That's why. Because they can't get these men to act like that. Real men, high-value men don't carry themselves by evoking violence on people because of words. We understand that because someone offended you, especially if it's just a joke, it told in that form, they're not actually trying to ruin your name. They're not continuing to degrade you in any way, demoralize you in any way. There's no need to go assault that person. A high-value man knows consequences are inevitable. Even if he doesn't go to jail, your reputation, your legacy, all these things can be ruined. And then that same energy can come right back to you. This is not something you should reward as a queen, as a wife to your husband. You should not reward this type of behavior. That is not how you protect someone. Do you understand? Now listen, we don't know what Jada is going through all the way. We look at the stuff with Jada's red talk, and I think that red table talk, and I think that makes us care a little bit less about her issues. But when I was losing weight like crazy and through my surgery, and hey man, I remember crying one time in the shower of all the weight that I lost. You understand? I could imagine Jada may be crying sometimes at home about her head, about her insecurities. And so that could have all trickled up to the surface with Will Smith in that area. And that could have brought that out. But even then, that is not a time to attack. Sure, Will Smith could have been thinking, I'm doing everything I can to keep her together. I'm complimenting her. I'm telling her she's beautiful regardless. I'm doing all that I can. And she's still having these breakdowns. She's still, crying about it. She's still suffering because of it. And here is Chris Rock to undo all the work that I've been putting in. This man made a joke about her head. What? Oh my gosh. Look, I know that would hurt, but that does not give you a right to physically assault someone. Let me make this one thing clear, family. If that does give Will Smith the right to assault, then one day Will Smith will upset someone. We all will offend someone. So if you guys are saying if someone's offended and they can find reason for their offense, they have a right to physically assault you for something that you said, eventually it's going to come right back on you because we all have offended people with something we said. We don't know what lens they're looking through and we do not know what they're going through. So the thing that you say that you're taking it lighthearted, they could take as very deep. They could take that as you're trying to hurt them because they feel pain. See, we're weird in how we act. If we feel pain, then you're doing it to me intentionally. We believe the world is happening to us, not that we are creating it. And so we always project on people when they make us feel feelings of any sort. If you go hit somebody because you're mad, you're being possessed by anger and you deserve everything that demon gets. This is why you got to be accountable to who you are before these things happen. This is not behavior that should be rewarded. If this was staged, I actually appreciate it because it exposed how we think. We do not value what a man goes through at all. We are only romanticizing Jada because she's a woman and saying she's losing hair. It doesn't matter what your gender is. If you're losing hair, it's going to hurt. This is why you see men trying to get their hair replaced. They do all these type of procedures to keep their hair. They care too. It doesn't matter that we have different genders. We got to cut that out. We're all human, right? So stop saying, oh, but that's a woman. Oh, but that's just a man. No, it's not. It's not cool. So in this moment right here, she watched Will Smith, who was a black man, go smack another fellow black man. And it's all okay. Even though it happened at the Oscars. It happened on live television. Even though it was Will Smith who has built a reputation for being positive. She watched that be destroyed in front of everybody. But it's still a great night because, of course, he was defending Jada's honor, her wifely honor. You guys, this is childish. Ladies, if you have a husband, don't look at him as your lapdog, Labrador retriever who's supposed to protect you every time you mad, that you say sick him on it and you reward him with a treat. This is denigrating him. This is looking at him like he is an object. The same way you don't want to be looked at for your body and what you offer sexually. The same reason we don't want to be looked at for what we offer masculinity-wise in that way. We don't want to be reduced to that. We are human too. That's ridiculous. Throw your whole legacy and life away because I'm offended. I'm going to reward you with some sex because, you slapped someone for me. But never mind everything that could have been lost or will be lost inevitably because of this decision that you made. That's ridiculous, family. And that exposes a lot of how we think. Seriously. I don't know what issues that Tiffany Haddish has that make her see the world like that, but a lot of our female counterparts see the world like that. And that's not how the world is, family. You are not better than a man. He does not have to throw his life on the line because you're offended. Those type of gestures come whenever your life's on the line. You're sitting there, you're comfortable, you're good. The feeling that you're feeling inside of you right now is internal. You're offended. Listen, man, my wives get offended about stuff all the time. People come for them all the time. I would not be a high value man if I went around slapping everybody who offended them. And they wouldn't have a man if I did that. Do you understand? That's why it wouldn't be wise to reward that behavior. Do you understand? You're such a man. Oh, she better put it on him tonight. That's a real man. No, that was real childish. Hitting folk because they made you mad. That's real childish. Everybody get upset. Did that get him a right to hit? That's ridiculous, y'all. That's absolutely ridiculous. Peace, family.